Oh, French toast, number one for me.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love French toast.
Interesting. Go ahead.
And then pancakes and then waffles.
So I may ask you to leave.
The idea of now, like if once you make it, once you like do what you want to do, or
Yeah.
who knows if that'll ever stop. But once you hit a certain point and you feel comfortable and you can like find a place that's like that where you're like, okay, now I can afford to go somewhere that's chill and relax when I'm not doing comedy. That sounds so nice, dude.
It reminds me
my
of that
God.
thing. Have you heard the thing about like there's this like fisherman and he just goes out every day to catch enough fish to feed his family, and then once he does that, he goes back home for the day. And then there's this guy, I'm going to truncate this because this will bore you to death, but there's this guy, he comes from the States and he goes over and he sees this guy and he goes, hey, if you stayed out a few hours longer, you caught more fish, you could sell that, make more profit. And the guy's like, okay. So he like does that. And he goes, and use the profit to hire more fishermen. And he does that. And yada, yada, yada. This guy ends up becoming the CEO of $1 billion fishing conglomerate. And then they sell the company. He makes $1 billion and he's getting interviewed. And the person goes, so now that you've made all this money, what are you going to do? He goes, hey, I'm just going to like wake up every morning, go out, go fishing, catch enough fish to feed my family, and then go home.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's what he was already doing.
Exactly.
Oh man, yeah.
So it's like that is that thing where I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
if I like make it in comedy, am I gonna be like, man, I wish I could just be hitting open mics and random nights and just
Yeah.
like hang out with guys at a diner and just talk about what it's like to make it.
Yep.
I don't think I will, but it's possible.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things for me. Like, I'm not a very, my goals aren't like I need to have a big house, a super nice car. I literally just want to feel comfortable, not constantly stressed about money, and able to hit a diner when I want to, go to a movie when I want to, not like worry about the monetary because I don't have any expensive hobbies or anything like that.
That's weird. So for those who are listening, by the way, so Chad, he drove up in a Lamborghini, which I thought was weird, but that's
A little off-brand, but
yeah, it was a little off-brand. Well, I see you reaching for your tea, so this is as good a time as any to introduce this to our folks steeping with us at home. So for those steeping at home, we're drinking David's tea. It is Me to We Tea India. Lovely turmeric
what is
tea.
it? What? Me to we?
Me to We.
Me to
We tea.
Okay.
I don't know why they needed to
Me
do
to we
that.
tea.
They could have just called it something else.
Fun name. It's a little a little hard to say.
Turmeric tornado.
That's usually the sort of stuff I drink. The classics, like that stuff.
Delicious.
It is very good. It smelled amazing, like in the can you had.
Oh yeah, that is really, really good. And for those sleeping at home, it's herbal. 212. I did 6.5 minutes. Whatever you want to do. Are you a big tea drinker?
Not really.
Really?
No,
Okay,
but
okay.
I do love it when I have it. I should seek it out more because I do enjoy it.
Are you a coffee guy?
Yes, but I've cut back on that because of anxiety issues.
I get that a
So
lot.
I should be diving into more stuff like this, honestly. Like the more tranquil, the chamomile.
Yeah,
Keep me nice
love
and
the
keep me
chamomile.
nice and cool, calm.
Wait, so if you're not drinking tea, you're not drinking coffee, what are you doing when you wake up in the morning? Are you just
I do have like I'll have a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Like one, but that's it.
okay?
Because I've realized it does ramp up my like jitters and my, the weird like anxiety sensations it can cause and
Yeah,
shit. So
those
I've been
course through
cutting
my
that
veins
back.
every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sleep a lot?
No.
I don't either.
I wish dude, I'm so jealous of people who can nap. Never been a napper. I wish, even when
Can
I'm
you
just,
nap?
I basically cannot nap. I really wish I could.
Oh, so
Even when I'm so tired, I cannot do it.
I can nap, but I'm not a good sleeper like throughout the night. So like if I'm sleeping at night, I'll wake up multiple times.
Okay.
And I'll be like, I will wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, when John Tyler was president, did he think we'd be talking about him now? We don't.
Yeah.
And also, what was his favorite food? Like those are the weird thoughts that pop in my brain. Like Chumbawamba. What happened to them? Where are they now? And maybe they're writing some of the biggest hits we listen to today. I don't know.
See, that's usually when I come up with a lot of the comedy stuff that write down.
At
You know,
2 a.m.
but then I'm like, fuck, I have to get up and turn the light on and write and shit. I'm like, it's that battle.
It's
so
terrible.
I've lost so
Is it
many
good
jokes.
enough? Is the joke good enough that I'm going to get out of bed?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know how many people have jokes about cosmic brownies. Probably
Yep.
some.
And then you think you're going to remember them and then you don't.
No,
You're
never.
Like, I'll remember tomorrow, and you never do.
Never.
Nope. So
I don't
there's
even
a lot of
remember the
stuff
jokes
lost.
I've written down.
Yep.
Even though, fun fact about me, I never write down a joke. I just write down like a phrase or a thought.
Okay.
And then I never write it down. I just do it.
I'm half and half. I'll do that, but then like if there's something I really want to like flesh out,
Yeah.
I'll write a whole page or two actually.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Like if I really want to like the cool chorus thing, there's like a few pages I've got
I'm very familiar with the chorus thing.
And like, so I've got certain bits. I wish I had more that were like really long form.
Yeah.
But when I do that, I really like to write a ton of stuff out. But for the most part, I just write a phrase. Or
Yeah. I'll just write like chorus, wizards, and then kind of go into it. I mean, I don't do that, but I should. No, but I'm trying to remember the first time I saw you do comedy, because I feel like I've been on tons of shows with you, and I first saw you, I think in like 2015 or 16.
Yeah,
were you
probably.
up and about around then?
I was still living in Santa Cruz at that time, but I still did a bunch of stuff in SF.
Yeah.
So I probably saw you at that point.
Yeah, I consider you like, and I say this as a compliment, like part of the old guard of people that I originally met when I went up there. Like like the Yous and the Torios and Zachs and Emily's and Anika Dell. What made you decide to come down to LA?
Well, I'd been wanting to for a while.
Okay.
And then, the pandemic hit and I was like, what am I going to, it kind of amplified the whole, like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to keep accomplishing here in San Francisco? And I remember
You already crushed that scene. Yeah.
I was doing good. I was getting booked a lot. And like, but I just kind of felt there wasn't like any other progression that could happen there. And I kind of felt a little like stuck. And I remember waking up like New Year's Day, 2023 and being super depressed and like thinking about like, what do I want to like do this year? And like, honestly, not long after that is when like the anxiety stuff that I've been dealing with kind of ramped up. And I started having like panic attacks and stuff like that. Maybe a month later, and like in my head, I was like, man, maybe I need like to do something different.
Yeah.
And I need to. Honestly, I was kind of excited about the idea of starting over, where not everyone knew who I was and stuff like that, which is great actually. And it's daunting, but it's also like exciting. Because you don't feel like you have anything to, like. I actually feel like I have more to prove in the Bay, because like most people knew who I was and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, I gotta do really good here because people might know who I am or something. And here I'm like, okay, I can just be a little more relaxed and just have fun with it. In my opinion,
it's interesting when I go to the Bay. I don't be. Okay, this is really specific. I feel that pressure in very specific places and not in others, and it's confusing. So like if I'm doing a place like the Setup, Valencia Room, those kinds of places, or if I'm doing like, I'm trying to think of other examples of kind of like, even if I were doing like a Comedy Oakland or whatever, I'm like, okay, like it doesn't matter. Like not that it doesn't matter. I'm really grateful to have those spots, but like if I try things new and they don't work, like no one's jumping down my throat. It's fine. But for some reason, if I do new stuff at like the back area of the Copper Spoon and I fuck it up, you know what I mean? Like like that one just sits in my soul in a way. Like I did. Do you know Austin had like deep cut in the bottom? Like it was in that basement
Austin
of
Carr,
that. Yeah, it was in the basement of that like.
Was it Fish and Farm?
Seafood,
or something?
but yes, Fish and Farm. Yeah. And I gotta say, like I was performing for conservatively 8 people.
Yeah.
And I remember like I tried to do a joke and it bombed, and I was like, man, like. This sucks so much worse than if I bombed in front of 200 people. Like if I had bombed at Throckmorton, it would have been fine. But bombing in like the bottom of Fish and Farm is just like, fuck me.
And the check you get at Throckmorton makes you feel a lot better.
I've never done Throckmorton.
No. Dude. I remember the first time I did it, I thought they like messed up. And like I contacted the guy.
Lucy.
Well, I messaged because I got recommended by DNA, this like Santa Cruz guy.
Oh, okay. His name is DNA.
His legal name is DNA. He books a lot of good stuff in Santa Cruz.
Oh.
And he he recommended me to Lucy, and I got booked. This is probably 2015 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I remember I hadn't gotten paid often to do comedy, and like I think they gave me.
Do you now? I mean, these places don't. Not
yeah.
in LA.
Not
San
in
Francisco
LA for
pays,
sure. Yeah. You got to get out of town.
Yep, correct.
And I opened an envelope that had like $200 in it, and I was like, $200, and I messaged DNA like, I think they fucked up. Like they must have given me like the headliners money, and he was like, no, they just pay really well. And I was like, oh my god, okay.
Yeah, you're like,
so,
how do
and
they
I'm
stay,
like,
stay open?
hopefully I'll do that whenever I can.
Yeah,
so they have me
I'm
on like
gonna
a
do Throckmorton 4 times a week.
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, it is. That is a tough thing about LA. Is LA is like, oh, you're good at comedy? Yeah, we'll book you. Oh, pay you? Mm-hmm. What? No, we're giving you stage time.
Yep.
And I'm like, cool, but like, I can't get health insurance with stage time. Like,
at least give me gas money.
I would love that. My favorite thing is also that like I drink like every now and again, but I just like don't drink that often anymore. Yeah. And so people are like, yeah, you know what, we don't pay, we'll give you 2 drink tickets. And I'm like, can you give me like 2 like coffee like certificates that I can use in the morning? Like it's 11 at night. I don't want to drink right now. Let's go to bed. Does that make me
give me some
super
tea
old?
tickets?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, dude.
I want to go back a little bit. So I know you also as someone who's a huge fan of movies.
Yeah.
So was there ever a debate for you of like, okay, I want to go into stand-up comedy versus like I want to write movies?
You know, I've never really wanted to do a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff. I wouldn't mind writing. I do have some ideas and stuff like that, but like I've always been more of a performer, like ever since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And like writing is a very fun part of stand-up, but honestly, like the performing thing is my overall favorite part.
Okay.
Right. Like I'm very jealous of people who can just sit down and write.
Oh,
I'm like, God, I wish I could fucking do that.
I love it.
And you do that?
Oh yeah.
Damn, I'm awful at that. I'm just one of those people. I have to like just wait till something pops in my head, and then I'll get excited about it. But I can't just sit down and like, okay, I'm gonna come up with something out of nowhere. It's like it's very difficult for me to do.
Okay, let me back it up a little. It's much easier if you have even a remote thought of like, hey, I could like this is an interesting thing. But I think there have been moments where, and I don't always use it, but there have definitely been moments where I'm like, what do I want to write about? Let me think. What would be like, what's like a fun irony I could play with? And I remember, like, I wrote a web series that I was super stoked on. I should probably do something with it at some point. But I remember I was in traffic. I was literally going on my way to go right.
Yeah.
And there was a traffic light, but there was still a person motioning. And I was like, what would be a fun dramatic irony to play with here? What if it was a traffic guard that causes more traffic? That would be really fun. So I started playing around with that. I ended up writing a web series called Ned Williams, Neighborhood Traffic Coordinator.
Whoa. Did you ever film it?
No, I didn't. I should have.
Shit. Okay.
The pandemic hit literally right as it was happening.
Okay. But you do have like a log of that stuff
I have
written down?
I have like 5 pilots,
Dude,
a couple
you
features,
should definitely do something
web
about
series.
that.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the thing is I feel like someone like you with your, I would say, and please feel free to disagree with me. I feel like you have a storied knowledge of film.
It's pretty good.
Because like anytime we've talked and I bring up movies, like you go deep.
Yeah.
I feel like someone like you could fucking knock that out of the park. You could write like such a good thing.
And honestly, since one of my favorite aspects about being in LA is the movie theater culture here.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Getting to go to all the amazing theaters here. There's so many theaters that are showing like cool old repertory stuff, like old
like
films.
New Beverly, The Egyptian.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not even that expensive. You go to theaters in San Francisco, it's going to be at least $20 a ticket or something like that. But if you go around here, dude, New Beverly double feature, $13.
What?
The fucking Academy Museum. I don't know if you've been to the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. They show movies there all the time. Every screening is $10.
Like new movies?
The older stuff. Like I'm going tomorrow to see Big Lebowski there, and it's an amazing theater there. So there's all kinds of there's just so many options for theaters, and it's made me think about wanting to become like a film booker or something, because I do have a good knowledge of like especially older rare stuff, and I think if put in the right theater with the right people, the right audience, I could fucking crush it in terms of like booking weird movies for people to come watch.
Wait, you know what you should do? I don't know if you'd ever do this, but like rent out a small theater, right? Like the Los Feliz 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I love that place.
It's amazing. One of my favorite theaters in LA. But you like rent something like that out and just like message a bunch of comics. Please put me on this list. And just be like, hey, like I'm literally just like charging enough that we can cover the rent.
Yeah.
Of the place and the rental to get the film. and I'm just gonna show some wacky stuff. Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee, like, a lot of comics would be like it'd be like, $15. Like, all right, yeah, I'll come out.
It wouldn't even have to be $15.
If it could be cheaper, I would love it.
Yeah, I think most. I mean, Los Feliz generally doesn't even charge $15. I think it's 13 or something.
I'm already in.
Yeah.
When is Chad's Movie Hut?
Let's do $10.
opening?
Let's do
Chad's Movie Hut.
Chad's Wacky Movie Shack or some shit.
I mean, do you? Because I imagine you watch a lot of movies. Like, I know that you have opened for boatloads of comics, right? I already knew that, but I also did a little perusing of your materials.
Yeah.
And you've opened for tons of people. When you're, I assume that some of that's on the road. When you're out on the road, are you just watching movies every night? Like, you finish your set, go home, watch a movie?
Especially when I'm in any town I go to. I try and find the nearest theater and check it out and stuff like that. Oh yeah, dude. And that's my favorite. I love going to the theater. In fact, dude, I opened for Christopher Titus, and
I have so many questions, but go ahead.
Do you know who Christopher Titus?
Oh
is?
yeah.
And my first question is, as soon as I met him, I was like, I asked him, what was it like filming the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Because he's in this weird late 80s like sci-fi comedy movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is filmed in Santa Cruz on the boardwalk.
That is insane that you knew this.
He was like, Chad, I've been doing stand-up for 40 years now.
Yeah.
Not a single comic has ever asked me that question. So then he had all these stories, and he was very excited to talk about it. So it was pretty awesome.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. What? So okay, well, like, he's a good example of someone who you've opened for some people that have genuinely lengthy, lasting, careers with incredible duration. Do you have anyone in particular who you kind of like formed a bond with that you think has taught you a lot about comedy?
Well, I mean, I definitely hit it off with Doug Benson right away.
Well, I
he's
know
another
you pop on
movie
Doug
nerd.
Loves Movies. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very fun. Somebody who was really cool was Tom Green. Was really cool.
The Tom Green?
Yeah, the Tom Green. And he has that whole thing. He was in the Charlie's Angels movie as the Chad. And so
I vaguely recall this.
He was very cool about, like, he recorded this thing with me where he said the line and I was like, I'm the Chad or whatever. And he played along with my bullshit, which is very cool of him.
Love if someone will. Yeah.
And I'm a big, I really get excited about people like that, where it's like, oh my God, I grew up watching you and stuff. Like, I was really excited to work with, I did a couple shows with Bobcat Goldthwait, and he was also extremely nice.
Yeah.
And so I try not to, because I know he's done other stuff, so I'm trying not to ask him questions about Police Academy and shit, because I'm sure he's fucking sick of it.
But I want to hear about. Talk about, what was it, Dad of the Year?
Oh, World's Greatest Dad.
Greatest Dad.
I did ask him a few things about that, because I do love that movie.
For those listening who have not seen that movie, heads up if you're going to watch it.
It's a dark one.
It is the darkest film, not the darkest, one of the darker movies that I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's very funny, but it's also very fucked up. It's it's funny, sad very well. Alternates between the two tones very well.
Yeah, it reminds me, there's another movie that was like, I can't remember the name of it. It was with Patton Oswalt, and he's like catfishing his son. And that was another really dark movie.
What?
You don't know this one?
No.
Okay. A lot of people listening are going to be screaming at the phone right now, being like, it's this.
Yeah, you call yourself a movie fan, or do you know what the fuck this is?
I can't tell you, like, on this podcast, the number of people that have shot me messages where they're like, how did you not know? And they'll say something from like 20 episodes ago. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're like, how did you not know that the MacGuffin was a pencil? And I'm like, there's very few parts of that sentence I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Do you get, like, you have a bunch of clips out and about. Like, do you have people respond to you being like, Chad, how do you not know?
Dude, well, I mean, because I've done the Doug Loves Movies podcast a bunch now.
Oh, so you get random remarks from that?
Well, no, because I don't even really read the comments on shit like that. It's not like directed at me. It'll be on like some website or something. But like, I try and not look at the comments and stuff, because
you are such a better man than me. Yeah,
dude, because I know it would drive me fucking crazy. Like, I'm not built for that stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I remember the first time I did that podcast, everything just kind of like, I couldn't think of anything. I was like, fucking what? I think I'm a movie fan, but I can't remember shit. I can't remember the Patton Oswalt catfishing movie, that sort of shit.
We all want to know.
And I was like, dude, I couldn't even come up with any answers. I was like, oh, Doug's never going to have me back. But then he did. And I would, got better because I got more comfortable being on the show. And I've won it a good amount of times now. So he just keeps asking me back.
I mean, good for you. That's great that you don't. When you can get to a place where you're not worrying as much.
Yeah.
I worry about everything. You were talking about having anxiety.
Oh, dude, awful.
Like I will leave a set where I did well, and then start thinking. I will convince myself to be like, is this a defense mechanism where I'm telling myself I did well because I did so badly and everyone else knows I did badly, but now I'm telling myself I did well to make sure that my inner self doesn't really know the truth that I did so badly? I'll do mental gymnastics to insult and confuse myself around my own abilities.
Well, something I've had to learn to get better with is like I used to really rely on, okay, if no other comics like come up to me after my set and say I did well, then I must have fucking just sucked.
I've had those feelings.
And like, you know, even when I've done, I feel I've done really well. And then if nobody came and said anything to me, I'd just be like, man, I must have fucking bombed, or they hate me, all this shit. You get really self-defeating.
Yeah, sure.
So I've had to learn to like get over that and like be like, if I'm happy with that set, then that's what matters. It doesn't matter if the other comics are like, yeah, that was great. Who gives a shit? Because a lot of the times comics will not tell you, even if you did do well. And like, I remember there was I don't want to name names, but there's a comic from the Bay I really like. And I was like talking about him and another comic friend of mine. Yeah. Another comic buddy of mine was like, oh, he's my favorite comic, but I would never tell him that. And I'm like, why? Like, why would you not tell him that you really liked his comedy?
Such a guess as to who this is. I'm not going to say it out loud, but like, is his last name is the first initial of B?
B? No.
No. Do you know who I'm thinking of?
B?
Yeah. I can say the name. If it's not the person, Kasim Bentley.
Oh, cool. Kasim definitely isn't going to tell anybody he thinks they're the best.
Fuck no.
Hell no.
I got off after a really good set, and he was like, I was like, hey, what up, man? He goes, yo, you did that.
Yo, yeah. He wants to knock you down for sure. That's his whole thing.
I was like, I did do that.
Yeah.
But I did it.
You did well,
I
damn
did
it,
do that.
Yo, but you have to get used to him. Like, I love the guy.
No,
I think
great.
he's very funny.
I like him a lot.
He can really like, if you're insecure at all, like he can really fuck with your
rattle
head.
the cage.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Yeah, he has fun with that.
I like to believe I rattle my own cage enough, but like you know, other people can rattle it for sure. So you're at a place now where you're less rattleable.
I mean, it still happens, but it's not as nearly as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, oh man, if no other comic said that I did well or something, I would just fucking be so sad. And now I'm just like, well, okay.
Tell me if you can relate to this. You might not be able to. I sometimes these days pursue content that I think will make me sad, so I have an outlet to be sad.
I think, you know what? Because I'm a big, I love horror movies, so I'm always looking. I want a movie to scare me. I want a movie to create that sort of like, if I'm watching a movie and I feel fucking like, I love that, dude. And some people absolutely hate that. A really good example of a movie that I loved and a lot of people really didn't like because of the tension it created was Uncut Gems.
I didn't like it at all.
And I remember you didn't like it at all? Yeah, because it's fucking, you're just like, dude, what is going? Like, it makes people like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I got into a big argument with this comic named Red Scott, and
I know
he was
Red.
just like, he hated that movie.
Red's also got a lot of strong opinions, but
oh man, he was just like, that movie fucking, he was like mad about it, that he was angry it existed. Like, and I was just like, of all the movies, like, to me, if a movie can create that sort of feeling in you, that means it worked.
For sure.
Like, they're going for that. Like, that movie was effective in what they were trying to do, meaning that movie is a success.
Yeah.
It's a well-made film. It does exactly what it sets out to do, and it does it very well. So to me, that's a really, really good movie.
Interesting. Will you, if a movie evokes feelings in you that are not positive, do you still think it's a good movie then because it still evoked feelings in you?
Yes. Like if a movie's depressing and like, you know, if I'm watching a film and I'm like, fuck, this is fucking sad. Like there's a movie called Tyrannosaur. It's a British film. It's part of the British miserablest genre, which is just basically like life sucks and here's some people at the fucking like bottom of the totem pole who's like, here's their shitty lives. And it's depressing as fuck. And it's so good though. Cause like, I mean, it's just, it feels like, okay, this is real. This is somebody's real lives here. And it's definitely not a feel-good movie, but, you know, and you leave it like, God damn, that's depressing. And it's not a movie I'd watch all the time.
No.
But because it can do that, it can create that sort of emotion in you. I'm like, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, okay, so you know what? This I'm going to take us to our first segment because this is going to lead us right into it nicely. So our first segment is called the Newly Friend Game. It's like the Newlywed Game, but we're friends. Oh, yeah. You have a whiteboard over there, so I'm going to have you grab that with your marker. All right. So the way this works is I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to write down your answer. Don't say it out loud. Okay. I'm going to write down what I think your answer could be. Then we'll flip our boards and see if we got it right.
Okay.
Now, the reason I bring us to this segment now in this moment is because my question for you is movie related.
Cool.
As I know you are a big movie man. My question for you is, and don't say your answer, write it down.
Okay.
What is a movie that most people generally like that you do not?
Ooh, this is a good. Okay, I'm going to say the first. Oh,
1, 2, 3, flip. Oh, I said The Godfather. You said Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Okay. Dude, there's a Red Scott has a bit where he says like he's talking about like having kids, and he's like, man, but you know, I want to have kids, but then what if you have a kid and he doesn't like Forrest Gump or something like? And to me, I'm like, that's the movie that you go to. Like he loves that movie so much,
And you do not
like,
care for
I
it.
don't fucking. I think it kind of sucks.
I mean, I love the fact that I remember the first time I watched it. Don't get me wrong. I did like it. And I remember the first time I watched it and I was like, but if she and then he and then a kid, does little Forrest have AIDS?
Yeah.
That was my thought. Genuinely,
Yeah.
not doing a bit. I was like, I think little Forrest has AIDS. And then my friend was like, he doesn't have AIDS, you idiot. I'm like, no, like I think there's a 50% chance that little Forrest has AIDS. The greatest moment of my life. And you know, listen, one day this might be, you know, eclipsed, but not soon. I was on an airplane. There was an in-flight magazine. I pulled it out because I was just bored out of my brain. And I'm flipping through. And there is an interview with, I think it was the writer of Forrest Gump, and revealed in an interview in a, like American way, the American Airlines in-flight magazine reveals that he had written or at least outlined a sequel for Forrest Gump about little Forrest having AIDS.
Whoa.
And I was like, this is the greatest fucking moment of my entire life. Like, if we still had phones and airplanes, I would have dialed up everybody and been like, guys, it's important. You all need to know. When I saw this movie, I was right. He has AIDS.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I shouldn't be so
You were
excited about
vindicated.
someone having AIDS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a fictional person. It's not
That's
like
true.
yeah. So you that's fine.
I don't want Haley Joel Osment himself to have
No.
AIDS.
You want Forrest
Unless he
Jr.
wants to have that, which is fine if that's his choice.
Sure.
I just want to be open to that idea.
Yeah,
in case he does. Interesting. Did you like The Godfather? I wrote down The Godfather.
Yeah, I like The Godfather.
I liked The Godfather, but I remember I watched it and I go, all right, it was good.
I'm kind of the same way. I'm not like obsessed with it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like,
good
it was a
movie.
Good movie.
Good movie. But I'm not like, oh my God, what am
No.
Oh, you know.
All right.
I'm not one of those guys.
We're going to do the same question for me, and here's what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
There are 3 movies I'm going to write down. If you get any of them, I'll get us.
Okay,
points
so I
on
don't need
this
to
one.
write shit.
No, you should write down. You
Okay.
write down as many as you want, but I'm gonna write down 3.
Same thing though?
Yes, these are movies that a lot of people like that I do not. If you get
Okay.
any of these 3, I'm gonna give you points.
Man, I don't know if I can do 3, but
Well, you don't have to get all 3. If you get, I'm just trying to give you options to get 1. 1, 2, 3, flip. You said Forrest Gump, Fight Club, American Beauty, and Titanic. Oh well, Forrest Gump was from your last batch. I said Gladiator, Training
Okay.
Day, and Oppenheimer.
okay. You know what? I fully agree with Gladiator.
Gladiator. Yeah. Okay.
I'm fully with you on
Okay.
that one. That's one that I've never liked that movie.
Never liked Gladiator. Gotta tell
I
you.
like Training Day.
Russell Crowe, not my cup of tea or coffee, smoothie or juice.
Yeah.
Do you like all the movies you wrote down or no?
No. In fact,
You don't like Fight Club?
I do not like Fight Club. American Beauty is okay. I don't hate it.
American Beauty is
Beauty's
tough to watch now.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I don't like hate it. Fight Club, I was like, ugh. I just
Titanic?
didn't like it. Titanic, I've never seen it.
That's not true.
Never seen it.
But if someone said never
You know
let
what?
go, Jack, you'd know the reference.
I mean, I know the references, but only because I've seen little clips and stuff. I never watched the whole movie. In fact, it's for like, it's one of those snooty, douchey. Even when it came out and I was like a kid, I was like, I don't want to see that, and I never did. So I've never seen it.
I mean, listen, I don't love or hate that movie. Nothing Titanic, but it is a big movie. You know what I remember about it? It was the first movie that ever required 2 VHS tapes to watch.
Yeah.
So with your background in movies, you do a lot of stand-up. Is the ultimate goal for you to star in a movie? Starring a TV show?
I'd love to do more acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's another one of the reasons I moved to LA. It's just fun to do.
Yeah.
But that's not like the end game. It would
What
be
is
fun
the
to
end
do.
game?
I've never wanted to be like, oh, I want to be like a big star, but I do love like character actors, things like that. I always am more interested in those types of actors too. Like, there's actually this character actor in LA that I'm good buddies with, named Troy Evans, who's been in all kinds of stuff. He's in like Ace Ventura and like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He has been in all kinds of things. And like listening to him talk about, he'll just be like, hey, Chad, you want to hear the story about when I worked with Robert Duvall? And I'm like, fucking yeah, lay it on me, dude. So he's got all these.
He sounds like Sling Blade a little bit. The way
He has a very distinct voice.
Yeah,
he talks
yeah.
like this, and he always gets cast as like I'm an old cop or something like that.
I wonder if I could be pigeonholed into something. What it would be? It wouldn't be cop. I don't
Or
think.
it wouldn't be Son of Sam.
No,
from what it sounds like.
Yeah, we talked about that off the mic.
Yeah.
For those listening who didn't know this, I don't know if I've talked about that on the pod ever. I auditioned to play Son of Sam on Mindhunter. Didn't go well. Not great. So people couldn't buy that I murdered people from listening to my dog. Shocking. I know. They're like, if it were a cat, we would buy it. This guy has a bit of feminine energy.
Now, was that the only sort of role like that you've auditioned for?
Like a darker
Yeah.
role? Yes. Because I was going to say, I auditioned for a role once I got decently far along. I didn't get it, about a guy who finds out on his bachelor party that his best friend slept with his soon-to-be wife, and then like gets really ragey and like, screams at the guy, and they get in a huge fight, and like, he swings him and shit like that. But like that character was not inherently angry or mean.
His dog didn't like tell him to kill everybody.
So that did happen. That was in the tag of the film. Yeah,
I see.
that was the end credit scene.
Okay.
His dog goes and kill everybody.
Kill everyone.
Do it. Have you auditioned for a role like that?
I did. I've gotten a couple of like creepy like stalker type ones, and like it mainly because like dude, like because I typically get like nerd or like Renaissance fairs type dude.
I
get that type of shit all the time.
Oh my
like
God.
I get hit for those things, LARPing stuff or tech geek or whatever, that sort of shit.
I could see you in those roles.
Oh yeah. And so I've gotten a couple where they're like, they're like, you're a awkward weirdo or some shit. So I haven't gotten them, but I've gotten to audition for them. That means that
you're not an awkward weirdo enough.
They've seen me, they're like, we see the signs of it or whatever. But
here's an interesting question, because you have a beard. Are there any things with looks? Well, because I got asked this once for an audition. Is there anything that you wouldn't do to your look?
You know what?
Get a buzz cut.
Oh, I would do that, but I think a lot of comics are like this, where like you feel very trapped in your look. You know what I mean?
I do.
I get really nervous about like trimming my beard too short or something, or like I want to shave actually.
The booker on Kimmel might be like, "Who's this?" And then if I kept the beard, it would be like, "Oh, it's Chad." Mm-hmm. Is that actually what runs through your head? I hope
Dude,
not.
just shit like no, but like because all my headshots are like with a beard.
Sure.
You're like, oh man, they'll be really mad if I show up and I don't have the beard. It's like, we wanted the fucking beard. I even think that with like I definitely feel that way with just getting booked in general in comedy. Like people will be like, oh, we figured you'd have the beard or something like that. It's like, well, not all my jokes are about having a beard, but
it is funny. So I have a 40-minute set about having a beard, and I don't have one. But I will say I'm getting married in a little bit, and my fiance had made a comment probably a month ago, and she was like, "Yeah, I mean, I would love if you shaved."
Okay.
And I was like,
for the wedding?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, for sure, but I'm not going to do that. Then,
why not?
I just didn't want to, and then because I was attached to my facial hair.
Yeah.
Then roll forward. This is like 5 days ago. This happened. This is hot off the presses.
Yeah.
We get in the stupidest fight of all time about what tie I'm going to wear at the wedding. Now, let me be clear to you. I don't care what tie I wear at the wedding. But for some reason, I was in such a shit mood that night where she was like, what about this? I was like, I don't want to wear that. Like, I was being a dick. Completely my fault.
Just to stir things up.
Yeah, just stirring up the pot. Hot pot. Things didn't go great. And then, like I said, I was like, okay, I can tell I'm being an asshole, and I'm sorry. I said, what matters to me is that you're across from me. I don't care what I'm wearing. It does not matter.
Yeah, I saved it.
Well, so here's the thing. This is where I made a big mistake. So next morning, I wake up, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, man, what she wants matters more than what I want. What am I doing? And I'm standing in front of the mirror, and I go, she wants me to shave. So fucking like 4 days ago,
Yeah.
Trimmed it all. I'm watching the hair fall into the sink.
Yeah.
And even as I'm watching it, I go, this seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finish, look in the mirror, I go, who's this schmuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
I come upstairs, she goes, oh. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I was like, this is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to figure out, like, is this going to grow back in time? I don't know.
It's kind of crazy how that works, man. Like, I remember when I first grew my beard in college, but I grew the beard out and then I shaved, because I wasn't used to having a beard at that point.
Yeah.
And I shaved it off, and I'd only had the beard maybe a few weeks at that point. And I went into class with it after I'd shaved it, and my friend Luke goes, "You shaved the beard. You look fucking stupid." And I was like, dude, you like only known me having a beard for like 3 weeks, and like, this is my face, dude. It's not like I'm wearing a fucking coonskin cap or some shit. Like, this is my face, dude. So I never forgot that, and I was like, man, what the fuck? So people get very attached to, especially. Like, did you see in his latest movie, Zach Galifianakis shaved his beard off, and people were so pissed off about it.
I don't think I saw it.
It was some TV, like Apple movie, where he played it was about Beanie Babies, I think.
Oh, yes, I did not see that.
And he has no beard.
Yeah.
And people were very upset. They're like, he looks terrible. Who is that? They just hated his face.
What's weird is those same people were messaging me being like, did you shave? And I'm like, yeah. They're all like, we hate your face.
Yeah. I think we get scared of, like, it's like almost like a superstitious thing, like an athlete gets like nervous about like changing anything in their, rhythm or whatever. I think we do the same thing with like the way we look, because a big part of stand-up is self-awareness, is like of how people view you. So you kind of get like trapped in like, that's like, oh, this is how people look at me, and like, if you change it up, it's like, it's scary.
Do you like hip hop at all? Mm-mm. No, I didn't think so. No offense. It just doesn't seem like your style. But Outkast has a lyric, which is, baby boy, you're only funky as your last cut. You focus on the past, you're bound to be a has-what.
Yeah.
And I think about that sometimes when it comes to like all the social media stuff, which is like, sometimes I'm like, man, these people are developing a relationship with me. These people, they like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think my bits are good, And then I'm like, the minute I post a clip that does not entertain them, they're not sticking around. These people are not like this guy.
They're not thinking about
I'm walking down the street and I'm going, man, what's Josh doing today? I follow him on TikTok. People are legitimately like, who's that? The fuck? I follow him. I don't think I've seen a funny thing from him in 6 months. I don't know who that fucker is, and I'm just like, oh. That's great. But I feel like that there is that like dichotomy of what I think of myself and my own self-importance, and knowing the world is not there with me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I wonder for you, as you came down to LA, was there any thought like, I want to change the vantage point of who I am to other people?
No, I mean, not really. I was never like, I need to be more stylish. I have lost weight, but I started losing weight before I moved.
I noticed that, by the way.
People are always like,
Congratulations.
you got Hollywood, you got drinking Ozempic or some shit. I'm like, no. But part of it is just the anxiety stuff. I'm trying to make healthier choices, because I've seen that it like does affect like what I'm eating, what I'm drinking. So I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Because
I'm telling you, I don't
it gets
find it that
worse. The
interesting
anxiety gets
anymore.
worse the next day. So I stopped. It just wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah.
So then of course, that's going to cause weight loss, because it's like a bunch of extra calories I'm not taking in,
Yeah. I mean, I filled that back up with ice cream, but I hear you.
Yeah.
I definitely, I don't know why I got to the place where like, I would think about the fact, like, let's say I had a few beers at a show, and the next day I would be like, just less productive. I wouldn't feel as good. I was kind of like, why the fuck do I keep mortgaging the next day? Like, this fucking, I don't need this shit. I'm like, rather just have a cup of tea and watch Murder, She Wrote.
Well, you feel, I mean, as a comic, you feel like, because we're underpaid. And so if you're getting drink tickets, you feel like you're getting even further screwed if you don't use them. You're like, this is my payment, right? Like, if I'm not using these, like, I'm getting fucked over. That's what I used to think.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, so it creates this like trap, where you're like, oh, I have to use these, or else I'm getting, even further abused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think about that. There are certain clubs that I've done where they're like, yeah, we pay you, we give you a meal, we put you up, and those are few and far between now. That doesn't really happen that much anymore.
I'm still at the point like when I get put up, I'm like, ooh, I get very excited about it. I love it.
I'm very excited outwardly, and inwardly I'm like, how many people slept in this bed? Did they change the sheets? They're bug bites.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, who was in here? Was Andrew Rolfo in this bed? I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
You know? But no, I think about those things. I do wonder, like, well, going back to that question I asked you earlier, when you think about your end game,
Yeah.
is your end game like being on the road all the time?
No, I mean, it used to be, it's exciting to think that way, but like, I even know now at this point that like doing that constantly would be like, woo, you know, because like when I'm gone for like lengthy periods of time, it's cool, but I still, you know, even if it's longer than like 2 weeks, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck back to wherever home is. You know what I mean?
Are you a bit of a homebody in that regard?
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say
I don't
like
say it in a negative way.
no, like no, I didn't feel you were. It's just like I just some like place that feels familiar, or you know what I mean, as opposed to just like, okay, I'm just on the move. It feels very exciting to begin with, but then after a length of time, it's like it'd be nice to be somewhere familiar. You know,
I'm a creature of habit, so for me, like, this is stupid. Like when I'm on the road, so I'll go out and like buy if I like groceries if I'm in some place for a little while.
Yeah,
it's like if I'm doing like a run of 4 shows in a city, run of 5 shows in a city, like staying there for a week. Like I did a week in Portland, right? I'll buy some groceries, you know, like do my thing.
Yeah.
If I can't get like the same eggs that I get at home,
Okay.
I like it's not a huge deal, but I'll be like, oh, these don't taste as good as the ones at home.
Yeah.
So, guess I'll eat them, but you know, they're not as good.
Did you see the that Adam Sandler movie where he was a basketball scout?
Yes.
It opens up with him in like all these foreign countries, and he just goes to like,
does he go to McDonald's?
Yeah. And he goes to all the like American chain restaurants because I think that's like his way of, you know, connecting with like his home.
I mean, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Do you know Morgan J?
Yes, the guitar guy. He's funny as hell.
Yeah. So Morgan and I had this conversation. We've had this conversation several times in our friendship. He says that anytime he's on tour, he will not get coffee from local coffee shops. He'll only go to Starbucks.
That's what Eddie Pepitone does.
Really?
Yep. He won't get anywhere else. He always gets Starbucks.
Yeah, because he's like, I know exactly what I'm getting.
Yep.
And I was like, I mean, that's true.
I'm the exact opposite.
Really?
When I go on the road, I want to go because I'm a big diner boy. I love a diner. So
give me a greasy spoon diner over anything in this world.
It's the best. It's the best.
And diner coffee?
Diner coffee, dude. It's my favorite environment. And so whenever I'm on the road, and I always search like what are good diners around here.
Oh yeah,
and never a chain. I never want to go to a chain one.
I like a really good. I'm obsessed with breakfast.
Yes, that's where I always go for.
Are you if you're ranking your meals here, is breakfast in your
breakfast
one spot?
Easily number one. It's not even close.
Not even close to me either.
Yeah.
Like I'm legitimately, I don't want to offend people. I'm legitimately going breakfast, and then I'm going, who cares about the rank of the other two?
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
I'm with
Brenner,
you.
Come on.
Yeah.
Love Brenner.
Breakfast. That was we did that for my birthday this year.
You went out for Brenner?
Breakfast for dinner. My friend actually made a big like smorgasbord at their house of breakfast foods for dinner for us.
That's
so good.
This is a hot take question.
Now we're talking.
I mean, this is what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
This is going to ruffle people's feathers.
Okay.
If you're ranking pancakes, waffles, French toast, where you at there?
Oh, French toast, number one for me.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love French toast.
Interesting. Go ahead.
And then pancakes and then waffles.
So I may ask you to leave. That's crazy to me.
Why?
Waffles at the one.
Waffles?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Can I say something?
I do like the cups, like you get it's to hold the syrup.
yeah.
That's nice.
It's rare that you get a food that comes with little compartments for everything you need to.
Yeah.
It's like a little
I
storage
like that,
unit.
but I've had too many mediocre waffles though.
Not in this house. I have a
Really?
waffle maker. You
Oh,
come
man.
over for breakfast.
Okay,
I'll make
okay.
you. Do you like your soft? Do you like them hard? You know, you tell me. I'll make
I like
whatever
them,
you
but
want.
definitely like them on the softer side.
Exactly. And when you come to the Lancet household, that's what you're going to get.
Okay.
Should I just quit and start a Waffle House?
Yes,
What if I called it Josh's Waffle Emporium?
I like it.
And then I'm going to write a movie called Josh's Waffle Emporium.
Josh's Waffle Emporium.
It's about when you go to the Emporium, when you eat a waffle, you can travel in time for 8 minutes to any point in time you have lived through. So you can't go back to dinosaurs.
Oh shit.
You can relive any moment of your life for 8 minutes.
Okay.
And then once it's done, you're right back there eating your waffle.
Oh.
Josh's waffle.
I immediately knew where I was gonna go too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Would it be improper for me to ask?
No.
Tell me.
I would go to Ocean Shores, Washington.
Okay.
When I was probably 9 or 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We would go on little family vacations there, like on the coast, like and on the beach in like a cold Washington beach.
Yeah.
But it was so nice, and like I just have very, very good memories of that region, and like I loved the place we would stay. My mom's had a friend who had like a timeshare there.
Okay.
And so they'd let us like stay there every now and then, and it was just this cool little beach house with like a really cool little spiral staircase. It was very small, but it was just cozy and nice. And like when it would get cold at night, we'd watch a movie on the TV and have some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It was very charming.
That's a phenomenal answer. So I'm gonna write you into Josh's Waffle Emporium.
Cool.
Hey, I'm just gonna write that story in there. But I'm gonna use your name.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so
I appreciate that.
You'll be one of the people who come to the Emporium.
Okay.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Let's do it.
So it's 5 fast questions. They do not at all have to be fast answers. The last 5 questions we end every episode with.
Okay.
So question 1, what is a favorite ritual of yours?
A favorite ritual of mine? Well, I think we already talked about it. Like
Oh.
the diner thing, I love. Okay. I love like especially when I go on the road.
Yeah.
I find out where the best breakfast places are.
Love.
The next morning, and then I fucking hit those up.
I would travel with you anytime.
One of my favorite, dude. This is another very good memory of mine. When I was in my first year of college in Ellensburg, Washington, I would get kind of like I remember my very first quarter, fall of 2004.
Classic. Classic time.
I would get out of class pretty early. I'd get out around like 1 or 2, and I remember after a while, I was like, I'm getting sick of college kids. I'm sick of these fucking whippersnappers.
These fucking kids.
It was and I was like, I gotta find a good diner with like old people there to like wash the
youth away.
Youth off me. And so I found this fucking diner in Ellensburg, Washington called the Copper Kettle. And I would go there like 3 times a week, and I would it would go from like, being surrounded by college kids, and then I would go into Copper Kettle where it would literally, I was always the youngest person there. And, I remember one particular morning I was sitting by this table of like old men all of them were comparing bear attack stories. They all had a story about being attacked by a bear in their life.
So you obviously jumped in and told yours.
No, I was just like sitting there just enjoying my biscuits and gravy like, I'm never leaving. This is fucking the best day. I was there for like 2 hours just listening to these old guys.
I would have listened to that in a heartbeat.
This is the best shit. But I never interjected. I never interrupted. I would just listen. And I love, so that's my ritual is I always find a diner to go to. And what was the last time I traveled to Manteca? I remember I had two mornings to go, and like both the places that people suggested sucked, and I remember being so mad and being God damn, they led me astray, dude. And like Manteca, I was like, what else does this town have?
I don't even know where Manteca is.
It's like up near Stockton or something. It's not it's kind of a crappy town. It's one of those places where one of the cool things about comedy is sometimes it takes you to places where you're like, God, I'm so glad I don't live there, man.
Oh yeah.
God damn. And like, I was like, damn, they can't even have a good diner in this town. Come on, man.
I will tell you off mic a place where I went in California to perform, and I literally the entire time I was like, be grateful from now on that you don't live here.
Yeah.
Every day when you're sad, you think about this place and you go,
be like, hey, I'm not there. That's how I felt about Manteca. I was like, wow, I'm really crushing it.
I didn't want to tell you this. We have a huge swath of listeners in Manteca.
Fuck.
By the way, I do want to just revisit something we said earlier because I just want to clarify. I'm going to change it to Josh's Waffle Wonderland.
Ooh, I like the alliteration.
Feels better.
Yep.
Yeah. Emporium.
Yeah, Waffle Wonderland sounds way better.
I just wanted to get that on the record. Question 2, what is a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
There's another comic named Steve Osborne.
Okay.
And we went on a like a really long road trip. We're in the car together for like 15 fucking hours or something
Oy,
like that.
oy, oy.
And we're just kind of going crazy. And so we would just start talking to each, like, you know, you just start like doing everything in the Don Pardo voice or whatever. Like just start like, and
Chad Opitz.
Josh Lanzett, Chris Knatzer, like and it was just cracking us up. And we started doing a Who's on First, but it was like about actor Stephen First from the National Lampoon Animal House movie, but it was a porno. It's like Who's on First, like, but it's anyway.
That's phenomenal.
It's just one of those like extremely niche bits that like it's like who else is gonna think this is funny but us two? Like Who's on First? She's on first. You know, it's like.
Do you still do that every time you talk?
Not all the time, but like it's frequently comes up more. It comes up more than you would think.
I would think never.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it comes up every now and then.
Question 3: what is a very controversial opinion that you hold?
This is kind of douchey of me. I think Tom Hanks is an overrated actor, but he's not bad. But I definitely don't think he's as good as people say he is. I think he gets a lot of leeway because he is extremely likable. I think his range is kind of whack, honestly. One thing that stood out to me, it's not even a great movie, but Cloud Atlas.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Not a great movie. Understatement of the year.
The movie, the movie has every actor in it plays like 5 or 6 different parts, and
isn't Halle Berry in there?
Halle Berry's in there.
Yeah.
The cast is good. It swings for the fences and fails.
Wachowskis?
But yes, and there's moments in it that are really good. But like Tom Hanks plays like 5 or 6 different parts in it, and it's like every single one you're just like, that's fucking Tom Hanks trying to be like a British guy, and it doesn't work, and you're just
no.
Whereas most of the other actors, it's effective. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, I buy them in these parts, but like he sticks out in a few of the roles like just a super sore thumb. Like he can't do this, and that's fine.
Something wrong with that.
Like people will tout him up as like a super great actor, and I'm like, he's all right.
So what you're saying is that when Tom Hanks came out and said he had COVID, you were like, I don't like him anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Like, he created COVID in the lab.
Yeah.
He distributed it amongst the people.
It's the Tom Hanks virus.
Yep.
No, that's interesting. I think that there are some actors that play variants of themselves, and there's some actors that get lost in the role. I think these days actors that get lost in the role are a little fewer and further between.
True.
The type of actor. So if you think Tom Hanks is overrated, do you also think George Clooney is overrated? And do you think Ryan Reynolds is overrated?
Well, but I don't think Ryan Reynolds. No one's talking about Ryan Reynolds as if he's like an amazing actor. Though.
No, but
he's in big movies, but nobody's like
themselves.
He's fine. Like I'm not a big fan. I'm not a huge fan of his, but like I wouldn't say he's overrated.
Clooney.
Clooney. He could, yeah, because he's not like. I guess he's a movie star, but he's not. He just doesn't have a lot of range. Like it is true. There's not a lot of people like Dustin Hoffman or something where it's like that guy could fucking play anything basically. Yeah. And like even like De Niro is one of those guys who's been in so many bad movies now. But like if you look back in his older stuff, like you're like, oh, he's fucking amazing actor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's got tons of range, but like just people. Because he's done a bunch of crappy movies lately. People forget about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. Would you understand what I meant if I used the phrase "a plain movie"?
What's that? Like, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it on the ground. But if I'm in the air, I'm going to
yeah. It's like a ginger ale.
Yeah.
You're not drinking that on the ground.
No.
Give me some of that fizz up there, baby.
I watched Robert De Niro in a movie called The Intern. And I got to tell you, it was good.
Yeah. Is that the one with him and Anne Hathaway?
Yeah. It was good. Mm-hmm. That's another person who I think gets way too much guff.
Yeah, she's fine.
Anne Hathaway gets so much guff. A lot of people really give her some hate. And I'm like,
true.
What did Anne Hathaway do to you?
She's good. She's a good
I don't
actress.
have a problem with her.
Yeah, me neither.
Never did.
No.
I remember there was a moment where I was like, but you know what? It was the character she was playing. Yeah, I was fine with it. Question 4: have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there one particular moment that sticks with you?
This is a recent one. I was in the San Francisco comedy competition, and I got first place one night on a night that but it was on a night I didn't feel I deserved it. And there was other nights where I was like, if I'd gotten first that night, I might have been like, yeah, that works. But then like one night I was like, I don't think I deserved first that night. It almost felt like, when they give an Academy Award to somebody for like a movie, it's like, for the other stuff, they just give it to them.
Oh,
for
yeah.
that. It wasn't as satisfying for me.
Interesting.
That was a weird one of the nights. Like this was very satisfying, where because I hadn't been doing great in the finals, and like we did a show in Menlo Park, and with the San Francisco Comedy Competition, they have judges, and right before I went up, they were okay. Well, let's introduce the judges, and one of them, his big credit was, and this next judge was in the motion picture Howard the Duck, and I like was right backstage, and I just uproariously laughed like because I thought it's like what the that's his credit.
Please
he
tell
was
me
in
that-
Howard the Duck.
And not everyone heard you.
And no, they definitely heard me laughing, and like, but I like that put me in such a like good mood. Like I remember backstage, I was like, oh, I'm gonna win tonight. And so I went out with that mentality, and I got first.
I mean, that is, mentality's half the battle.
Yeah,
It's weird because that night I also thought you were going to win. I was down here in LA, but I thought I felt it in my heart.
Howard the Duck actor is in the crowd, man. He's got this one. He's got it, baby.
And then
he's
the
going
next
out with a
thought I
positive
had,
mentality.
I was just like, wouldn't get it. Tom Hanks wouldn't win.
He wouldn't win that.
He's
baby.
overrated. Question 5, final question. I typically ask what your favorite tea is, but I know you don't drink a lot of tea. So I'll say, what's your favorite tea? Or if you don't want to answer that, what is your favorite comfort?
Comfort. Well, God, I can't say breakfast food again, can I?
I mean, if there's a particular breakfast food, I think we can go in on your order.
Oh man, I'm a big country breakfast guy. I love a country breakfast or
That's
an
got
omelet,
biscuits, gravy, and then eggs.
eggs and bacon and sausage, like all the really awful shit for you.
It's the thing where they say 2 of this, 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 and
Basically,
and then biscuits.
Yeah, and like I used to eat that stuff way more frequently. I'm trying to tone it back, but I still go when I go to breakfast. I still don't eat great, but I'll something with some sort of vegetable, like a Denver omelet or something like that.
You're like, let me get a vegetable. Can you chop two little pieces of onion in here?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm good.
Okay, yeah.
At least have a something like that.
Can I get an omelet where it looks like it was once in a room with a bell pepper?
Yeah.
I want it in my eggs.
Yeah.
I just want to know it was there.
It's bell pepper adjacent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've always described myself that way. Just me, bell pepper.
I'm easy
adjacent.
to trick with health stuff. I'm like, it's healthy. It's got it's got a hint. It's got a smell, a whiff of bell pepper.
Yeah, they said it was organic, so I went for it. They're like, oh, the bacon fat? You're like, no, the bacon fat is organic.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Doesn't count. That's the pod. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah?
Let's go get some breakfast, dude. Let's cook me up a
I fucking
waffle.
want to. I
want that waffle wonderland idea, man.
Listen, Josh's Waffle Wonderland.
You're gonna start a waffle wonderland pop up.
It's copywritten 8 minutes of your life. It kind of sounds like a rip of About Time, but you only get 8 minutes in this one, so make it count. That was Chad Opitz. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok at Chad Opitz. This episode was produced by Jude Crowner. It was edited by Martin Alvarez. Our theme song and additional music are by Oliver Hymack. Our cover art was done by Neil Fraser with photography by Matt Mazisco. Social media by Dia Villegas. Please write a review and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can. You can send any questions, comments, newly friend game suggestions, or tea suggestions to steepcombos@gmail.com or tweet us at steepconvos. I'm Josh Lanzette, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Josh Lanzette. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping. So I'm shocked you weren't being called in for a high school quarterback. They weren't
They weren't biting with that one. Nope.